What's up, guys? Rick here with your DFS preview for this week's Arnold Palmer Invitational. If you noticed on the Rick Run Good YouTube channel, there is already a very short, just kind of a first look video out on the Arnold Palmer, just kind of key stats, the field, the course. That's what I want to start doing every Sunday to kind of get you ramped up and ready to go for the week. And there's a lot of new content out there. There is Strategy Saturday, which is a series of videos that I'm going to do every single Saturday, more strategy based. Last Saturday's was Strokes Gained Explained. Go over and check that out. Also, there is updates to tools this week on RickRunGood.com, including a new Showdown cheat sheet. There's a tutorial on that on the Rick Run Good YouTube channel. So lots of good new stuff out there, and looking forward to this week. But before we do that, have to talk a little bit about last week. There were so many Morikawa tickets. You know, this started on Monday, where depending on where you were looking, he was 55-1, which was much too long. So I know a lot of you took the opportunity to jump in on that. So congratulations to all the Morikawa winners out there, and just plenty of DFS screenshots over the course of the week. And I also have winners for a subscription to RickRunGood.com. So these are two winners from last week. The first one is at PG24BK Riser. I don't know if I got that right, but I will reach out to you. And the other one is Jacob Olson. I'll get you a month subscription to RickRunGood.com so you can use the same tools that everybody else is using. Everything that you're going to see in the basically every video that I do is all from RickRunGood.com. And if you would like to enter a draw to win a month subscription to RickRunGood.com, there are two ways to do it. If you are here on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below with who's going to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Very simple. And you can also go over to Apple iTunes, leave a 5-star rating and review, say something nice about the show, and leave your Twitter handle so I can get in touch with you. Those are the two ways you can enter. You can do them both for an extra opportunity. Get a crack at winning a subscription to the tools. There's some good updates for this week. So we'll look into those, and I guess let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this week's Arnold Palmer. Bay Hill is without a doubt a staple on the PGA Tour. It is iconic. Obviously, the connection to Arnold Palmer, and just, I mean, the course itself is great. And this is the second leg of the Florida Swing. So what you're noticing with the Players Championship next week and then Honda the week after, it's a really great set of events, and you're going to see golfers who are taking this as their rest week. So we're not seeing Dustin Johnson. We're not seeing Jon Rahm. We're not seeing Collin Morikawa, obviously all getting ramped up for the Players Championship, but it does still leave us with a pretty decent field. We'll talk about that more in a second. Of course, because we are in I almost said California, Florida, we get the Bermuda grass. This is a par 72. This is an event that was the most difficult course on the PGA Tour last year. Played 2.1 strokes over par. Couple of caveats. We only had one major last year, so the majors usually would have been the more difficult ones. And then also, 4 under par won this. Terrell Hatton won this at 4 under par. That has been an outlier. We usually see kind of 11, 12 under. So it's not like this is an easy course, but I don't think it's going to be particularly as difficult as we saw last year. And the good thing that we have about Arnold Palmer and Bay Hill is just an unbelievable course history, right? We play it every single year. Bay Hill doesn't change all that much. So the regression model that determines what the key stats are is so good. And it is very clear about a couple of things. The players who have the most success at Bay Hill are great ball strikers. Particularly, they are great off the tee. In fact, there is only one other course in recent PGA Tour scheduling that strokes gained off the tee is more important. That was the CIMB Classic. That was TPC Kuala Lumpur, which that's not even on the schedule anymore. So by all accounts, Bay Hill is the place where strokes gained off the tee is most important. There are only 4 other courses in which strokes gained approach is more important, and those are the two by far most important categories for this week: ball striking, ball striking, ball striking. So we have a couple of ways that we can look into who these golfers are. We can either do it by last X number of rounds, or the re-addition back into this tool is every single stat category that you could want. Every official stat category on the PGA Tour you can look at and see for players in this field. So we can do this a couple ways. Let's do strokes gained off the tee for the last 40 rounds. And we'll see who leads the way here, what kind of sample size that we have here. So no surprise, Bryson DeChambeau, 1.1. He's the only guy over 1. He's $11,000. Cameron Champ is $6,600. He's next. Rory McIlroy, Luke List, and Corey Connors are the top strokes gained off the tee players over the course of their last 40 rounds. All of them have over 30 measured rounds in that stretch. And then strokes gained approach, Will Zalatoris, who has a much smaller sample size, he has 18 measured rounds, the only golfer over 1 per round. Matthew Neesmith is second here, $6,900. Harold Varner III, Kyle Stanley, and Mark Leishman. We're going to talk about that Mark Leishman guy in just a little bit. I will also note Matthias Schmid. It's a Monday morning, and we're already getting a Matthias Schmid reference. I know nothing about this kid. What I do know is he got in via... He got in somehow into this event, but Mark Immelman brought him up on our Sunday recap pod on the First Cut pod, and he was like, yeah, this kid can play. I think he was like on the International Junior President's Cup team or something. I forget, but high praise. We have two measured rounds for him, only 2. So keep that in mind. He is 6th in strokes gained approach in those 2 measured rounds. He was absolutely brutal off the tee. I don't know anything else about him, but I think it's funny that name popped up, and I just talked about him last night, which is always fun. Or you can go down to the bottom of this tool, and we can just do strokes gained off the tee. Let's look at that. Let's do off the tee here, and we can see the ranks and the values for every single player. This is a by season list. So the one above that was previous X number of rounds. This is by season, so they should be close, but a little bit different in some cases. But you can also go through longest drives, club head speed, driving efficiency, and then any other stat that you might be interested in. The cheat sheet reveals 6 golfers over $10,000, with Rory McIlroy leading the way at $11,500. I really am kind of confused on what to do with Rory McIlroy. He never in contention last week, finishes 6th, which shows you what the floor is. But we've got to go a little bit deeper. We've got to go over to the Holy Grail. We've got to look at Rory and what he has done recently, because it is just the same story over and over, which is this right here. His approach game, it's pedestrian. It's subpar. He gained 1.73 strokes on approach over the entirety of the 4 rounds last week. And we have not seen him gain more than 2 all that often in the restart. When you go back to before the restart, look what he was doing. API last year, he gained 6 strokes on approach. The week before, or his start before that, 4 on approach, 2.7, 5.1, 3.9. He has rarely done that after the restart. So this is literally the same story that we're getting from Rory. The good news is, even when he doesn't hit it all that well, he can finish inside the top 10 of a World Golf Championship, which is always encouraging. But I'm really on the fence here. So I'm probably going to let a bit of ownership dictate how much exposure I have to Rory McIlroy. I'll try to get a vibe over the course of the week. Obviously a winner here. He has dominated at Bay Hill, but it's all about that iron game. It's all about that approach game. He's got to figure it out if he wants to start winning prolifically again. If strokes gained off the tee is important, Bryson is here. He's $11,000. He is the best off the tee player that we have in the world. Now, he does it mostly through distance, right? Not necessarily the most accurate driver of the golf ball, which makes me a little bit nervous because of the water lurking around Bay Hill at times. But Bryson has had a decent run at Bay Hill in the last 3 years. He's got a 4th. He's got a 2nd. Hasn't missed a cut in that stretch. So I'm fine with Bryson. I'll probably try to just be equal weight on the rest of the field. I probably don't want to take a stand on Bryson. We're getting some real good respect from Victor Hovland here at $10,600. I think it's well-deserved. What he's doing right now is phenomenal. I tweeted this out. If you want to go look at either the Holy Grail or at the live leaderboard from last week, what he did in rounds 3 and 4, where he gained 12 strokes. Say that again. 12 strokes from tee to green over his final 2 rounds is unbelievable. Nearly 6 full shots better than the next best guy, Scotty Scheffler. It's jarring. It's jarring. His game is so complete. Obviously, he took the quad on Friday afternoon on his final hole of the day. Outside of that, if we can play the what if game, if he makes par on that hole, he wins the golf tournament. I mean, he was really there are a lot of weeks where I say like, this guy actually played the best of the week, but he didn't win. I think it's still fair to say Collin Morikawa was the best player in the field last week just because of leading the field in strokes gained approach. He was a great putter. He was an excellent ball striker. But Hovland is the only guy that you could argue competed with Morikawa last week in terms of like who's actually playing the best, not just luck boxing their way to the top of the leaderboard. Reed at 10-2 is fine. I'm lukewarm on it, but I think we should probably reconsider the Terrell Hatton stuff. I rolled him out in every single one and done last week. He finished T22, which wasn't all that inspiring, but what he did do is he shot his best round on Sunday, which is always something. And look at Terrell Hatton's stat profile. It's kind of unbelievable. He ranks inside the top 25 on the PGA Tour this season in strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach, and strokes gained putting. That is a deadly combination. Now he goes back to Bay Hill where his game obviously fits. He's won 4 times in his last 23 or 24 worldwide starts. I think that, and listen, we've made a habit of being a week early on some guys in the last month or so. And I haven't often gone right back to that golfer. I think this might be a Hatton spot to go right back to him. Feels really good. I don't think a lot of people are going to be all that excited to go back to him after he finished T22 last week. I'm pretty interested in that. The 9K range, small but powerful. Let's talk about a couple of these guys in depth. Sungjae Im, he's $9,700. I also tweeted this out, but let me show you what I like to do here. So because I can go to the Holy Grail and I can kind of slice this up any way that I want, I'm just going to do the Florida swing events. I put a weird inflection on that. The Florida swing events. So I want Arnold Palmer and I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to do also, I need the Honda, and I need Valspar, which is like historically one of the Florida swing events, but it's kind of in a weird spot this year. I'll do last week's Workday, and then I'm going to do the Players as well. And that should give me all of them, I believe. So I have the Players, the Honda, the Workday, Valspar, Arnold Palmer. Okay, so all of those events, the Florida swing events over the course of the last 6 years, just for golfers in this field. Okay, here we go. Sungjae, actually I'm missing. I think I'm missing one. What am I missing here? No, I think I got them all, and I zoomed in, and maybe this is a little bit better. Okay, so I've got Sungjae Im with the best strokes gained total per round of anybody in this field during the Florida swing. He's played 27 rounds. If we click on him, we can go down and we can see his round by round information. And I see a guy who has gained strokes in 22 of those 27 rounds in Florida, has the best average. That's pretty interesting to me. So Sungjae, certainly a viable option for this week. And then the other guy, okay, so the other one that I really wanted to talk about was Spieth, who I think this is going to be I'm a believer that Spieth is kind of back and playing well and all that good stuff. And like, this is real, but this is a pretty bad spot for him. You know, we've been talking about how critical it is to be accurate off the tee. And Jordan Spieth, here's his strokes gained off the tee this season. 191st. He's 226th in driving accuracy. Now, I guess we could say, has it been better recently? which I have not looked this up. So let's just do it together. So let's do last. So, I mean, is 12 too little? Because that's like the resurgence that he's had here. So let's say Spieth in his last 12 rounds is, yeah, I mean, he's still losing. I mean, even if let's do 20 or so. I'm just trying to find any yeah, I mean, he's losing a half a stroke off the tee. So that is still very much of a concern. So I'm a believer in Spieth. I just think this is going to be a really difficult spot for him to maybe play well if that driver lets him down. The 8K range has actually a lot of pretty appealing options here. So 8,700 Molinari. I'm interested to see how this 87 to 84 range plays out, because you have Molinari, Zalatoris, Homa, Burns. Homa played fine last week, but he's coming off the win. He's very popular in general. Zalatoris is just, everyone thinks the world of him, myself included. I think he's going to be kind of popular. But then you have Burns here, who, his third place finish at Riviera, it looks better on paper, I guess, right? Like if you just give him a third place finish, that's great. But we know that he kind of didn't give it away, but he had a multiple shot lead on Sunday, and doesn't end up winning. And then you get Molinari, who is the resurgence. So I have no idea how this ownership's going to play out. I think if you want to join me 3 p.m. Eastern on the Rick Run Good YouTube channel for the live chat, that would probably be a pretty good thing to do, so we can figure out what this ownership looks like. But Molinari is very much in a resurgence, right? He's got 3 top 10s already this season, 3 out of his last 4 starts. He's a winner at this event. He won the last time he played, which is 2019. He's got other top 10 finishes. Fits his game really well. And if you look at his golfer profile, I was doing this earlier. I was pretty impressed with what his season-long stats are. I mean, he is great around the greens. He's great from tee to green. He's 36th in approach. He's not as good as I would like off the tee. He's 108th, but he is gaining. He's a very small positive in that category, which is obviously going to be critical this week. So I think that's an interesting spot. And then, so I would probably rank them like this. And this includes, I'm going to say this includes ownership. This includes like everything that I think right now. The order that I would put these guys in are Zalatoris, Molinari, Burns, Homa. That's probably the ranking that I give these 4. But then you even get this. Okay, so Leishman is becoming incredibly interesting again. He's $8,200. If you want to go back to the key stats and look at what he's done recently, let's see if I can find a good set of data for him. Let's go back to the last 40 rounds. That might be too many. Oh, no, it's not. Here's Leishman. Last 31 measured. He's a top 5 ball striker. Only Zalatoris, Neesmith, Varner, and Stanley are better. And I should not say ball striker. I should say strokes gained approach. He is not as good off the tee, but he's doing it really well with the irons, which I think is interesting. Another guy who has won this event in the past, has a bunch of top 10. So that's interesting at 8,200 as well, as I imagine many will find that to be interesting. The $7,000 range. This is where I think we separate ourselves. There are some fairly obvious plays, 8K and above. I think there's going to be the Molinari love. There's going to be the Leishman love, all that good stuff, right? This is where I think we start to separate ourselves a little bit. And Cameron Davis, who we have not seen since Genesis, because he did not go to Puerto Rico, didn't play that event, and didn't qualify for the WGC. He's back. As you guys know, I'm a huge believer in the raw talent that Cam Davis has. These 2 stats right here, off the tee and approach, he's gaining over a third of a shot in both of those categories. That goes a long way this week. I also think the other guy at 7,900, Taylor Gooch, is incredibly interesting. He is a better ball striker. Recently, we have seen him play well at Riviera. I like Gooch kind of longer term, and he's got 2 finishes here at Bay Hill, a 13th and a 26th. Now, what in the world do we do with Justin Rose? Because on paper, you could argue he's kind of the most mispriced guy, right? Based on the pedigree, he's $7,800. He's coming off of a bad WGC. I want to know what the industry is going to do on him, because a lot of the industry is not going to remember that he finished 2nd in Saudi Arabia like 3 weeks ago, 2 starts ago, right? To Dustin Johnson. He has played well at Bay Hill before. This is the one that I'm really interested to see how sharp the rest of the industry is on a Justin Rose at $7,800. And I do really like that Florida swing filter that I had in there. So let's go back to this. So I still have it here by round and look for guys in the 7K range. Well, Henrik Stenson has played 49 rounds in the Florida swing. He's third on this list in terms of strokes gained total. He's averaging 1.6 strokes gained per round. He finished fourth at the Arnold Palmer Invitational in 2018. He finished 17th in 2019. You can see some of his better rounds here. Lots of gaining. His two worst rounds in the Florida swing have come at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, but so have his best, I believe. Yeah, they have. So, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of his 8 best rounds in the Florida swing have come at this event, come at Bay Hill. Hasn't played as well recently. I'd be really concerned about a lot of his game, but he's there. Christian Bezuidenhout, one of the smallest sample sizes, only 9 rounds, is on this list. Now, he technically, I don't want to say he gets credit for a second place finish at the Players last year, but I am including that one round. So that one round at the Players, that's in here. And Bezuidenhout was great. He was in second at the time that event was stopped. He finished 18th at the Arnold Palmer last year. He had a couple of good rounds. Played okay at the workday. Just about field average, a hair better. So he's someone that is probably going to fly certainly under the radar at 7,500. So those are the two that kind of stand out in the 7K range when you look at the Florida swing numbers. The 6K range, I probably just like the top of it a little bit. So Brendan Steele, $6,900, perpetually underpriced. Back at it again. Ball striking. Eric Van Rooyen, $6,900. Decent ball striker, played well at times last week, finished 37th. Neesmith, who is the approach player, right? That's the guy who popped up in all of the approach numbers for the last X amount of rounds. Neesmith was the one that popped up there. Other than that, going a bit further down the list, are you a believer in Cam Champ? If you want someone who can gain strokes off the tee, Champ would be your guy. I'm not as warm on that maybe as others. You know what I meant to do? What I'll add to this cheat sheet, and my apologies for not putting this in already, is I'll put in the Puerto Rico Open numbers from last week, because there are some guys in here that played in Puerto Rico last week. To see Doc Redman at 6,400 is like, let's do a deep dive. We've not done a deep dive on Doc in some time. It has not been the start to a season that he certainly wanted and that his supporters certainly wanted. But I want to see if the ball striking is still there. And the answer is kind of. So here's kind of what I'm going against. Doc at the end of last season and into the start of this season was awesome off the tee and awesome on approach. We have not seen that here in 2021. In fact, we've not had a single event that he has gained over a stroke off the tee. That would be a concern. He is lost on approach in 4 of his last 6. That would be a concern. The other concern would be 5 consecutive events he's lost with the putter. Now, I will say Riviera was his best putting week out of that stretch. He only lost 3/4 of a stroke in 2 rounds, but this is a bit concerning. I don't know if he's going to be able to flip a switch. I hope that he is. The putter, if he can putt like he did at Riviera, lose 3/4 of a stroke, and hit the ball like he did at Waste Management, he could probably be fine here. I don't know if that's going to happen. If you're willing to take a flyer on Doc, he's $6,400. It's pretty cheap. All right, let's build a custom model and get you out of here. So here's the custom model for RickRunGood.com. I know that there are 2 stats that are incredibly important, and they are off the tee and they are approach. So I'm not even going to mess around. I'm going to put 35 on each of them. I also know that it's a par 72, so I want to get 10 on the par 5s. I want to get, what do I want to do here? 10 on birdie or better, which leaves me 10. And I'm going to put that on, I rarely do this, just let's do sand saves. It's a flawed stat. A lot of them are, but let's do it. Let's see what happens. Run this. Oh boy. Hideki Matsuyama, my number one player. That's a hair scary. Rory McIlroy is number 2. Victor Hovland 3. Doc Redman 4. Obviously, this is a longer period of time. So guys like Doc and maybe Hideki, who are longer term better ball strikers, are going to pop up. Paul Casey's kind of interesting. $9,100. He's played well in Europe. I'd have to pull up his full stats, but I feel like Casey's played okay recently. He's 9,100. Corey Connors is next. He's 73. Varner, Hatton, Zalatoris, Sungjae. I mean, these are just team no putt guys, right? These are all the guys I play all the time anyway. So no surprise here. Finally, a week where this kind of fits the mold for me. So I want to do a little bit more research into Casey. I want to see if I can stomach Doc Redman, and I'm going to have to break some ties between probably a Victor Hovland, a Rory McIlroy, a Terrell Hatton. That's kind of what early indications for my lineups are looking like, and it's what they're kind of feeling like at the moment. 2 live chats this week, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Rick Run Good YouTube channel. That is the live chat. That's the ownership, the weather, the final question and answer, all that good stuff. And then 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, same spot, same place, is the Jock Market Power Hour, which is stock market DFS. And there was a ton of money to be made last week. There's a ton of money to be made in general. To put this into perspective, Colin Morikawa last Wednesday closed at $6 a share. He paid out the full $25 a share on Sunday evening. So backers of Colin Morikawa made a ton of money. Brooks Koepka, same thing. A lot of value to be had. Let me know what you think. Tweet me at RickRunGood. Leave a comment below. Plenty of content coming this week. So I'll talk to you guys very soon. Good luck.